The big thing about the new Labour government is they love business. And you just sort of think, this is so weird, because people are now turning around and saying, well, the Labour government, you'll see, they've sold their soul to the devil. The devil will probably be sitting in hell going, I just don't need this kind of publicity. And so we thought, we've got to find somebody who will talk to us about the Labour government and business. We've got to find somebody. So we thought, none of the ministers will speak to us. Let's phone up Derek Draper. Surprisingly, he would talk to us. We paid 600 quid for this. This is what you get for 600 quid.
I have a company and I forgot to file the accounts. And it was in the Times as part of my downfall, and furthermore he's forgot to file the accounts of this company, right? And it looks terrible, because like you say, if you don't file the accounts, eventually you're a criminal, right? And my friend, who happens to run several companies in London, said, when he read this, but he said, don't people realise it's just like not paying a parking ticket on time? And that was a businessman speaking. Do you see what I mean? The reality of business is that you don't always pay up on time. You don't always send off the right letters. You don't always fill in the forms properly, because people in business are not nitpicking little administrators often. They are people who are taking risks, building empires and getting on with it. And they usually expect that someone else is going to tie up the loose ends. And sometimes one of the loose ends isn't tied up. In business, no one gives a toss.
Now, some of you from last week's programme might remember that the DTI didn't give a toss. This is becoming a bit of a catchphrase. Hey, Tony, don't give a toss, Blair! And so we thought, well, no, we've got to, come on, we've got to get a bit more money's worth out of Derek here. And what we wanted to talk to him about, we said, we want to talk to you about Geoffrey Robinson. Geoffrey Robinson, his relationship with the Labour Party is really the heart of the show tonight.
Geoffrey is a very interesting and in a way exciting person to speak to and be with, because he has a energy which both gets things done in a very productive way, but is also quite laid back. Geoffrey manages to be quite stately, almost slightly regal, you might say. Yeah, and of course he has the trappings of all that now, with his sort of Lutyens mansion and chauffeur-driven Jaguar. He got £12 million off a strange Belgian woman.
Do you want to take that? Because I think that might be, because I had money in my pocket.
Okay.
So that might be part of your money. So that's what we get to learn about Geoffrey Robinson, and we're thinking, well, that isn't very much, because there's some stuff going on here that's a bit weird, and we wanted to have a look around and find out about it. So we thought what we'll do is we'll have a conference about Geoffrey Robinson, and we'll get loads and loads of journalists, and we'll get accountants in, and we'll try and work out what's been going on. We thought, what better place to have the conference than the Millbank Centre, the Labour Party HQ.
I'm the tax man. Yeah, I'm the tax man.
We started looking in the local press, first of all, the Coventry local press. That's where his MP thought, have a look in the press, see what stories they come up with him, try and get a picture of him. The first one that we came across was in Christmas 1983, and this was when Geoffrey's Jaguar was found on the hard shoulder of the M6 with the tail end sticking out into the slow lane with no lights on. Geoffrey was asleep in the passenger seat. Now, these things I'm about to tell you are quotes from the police officers attending the scene. They said Geoffrey was talkative but incoherent, in the habit of raising his voice and needing assistance to get to the police car. When asked how he got to be there, he replied, "None of your business." He then refused to take a breath test. Now, what he gets fined for is being drunk in charge of a vehicle. If he had taken the breath test and it had proved positive, he would have gone for the greater crime, which is drunk driving. So he wasn't drunk driving. Does beg the question, though, how did the car get to be on the hard shoulder of the M6? Because either someone else drove him, thought Geoffrey looks a bit queasy, probably had a bit too much to drink, we'll park, you have a sleep, I'll get a burger. Or Geoffrey thought, no, I'm too pissed to drive, fuck it, I'll push it. Halfway up the M6. The next story we found was that Geoffrey, a little while ago, managed to shoot his own son in the foot with a shotgun. He didn't own the shotgun, it was unlicensed, but proceedings were not forthcoming. A couple of days after that, the neighbour, Geoffrey's neighbour, goes round to Geoffrey's house to sort of commiserate. And the neighbour's got a sort of pot plant and a card, and I don't know if Hallmark will do a sorry you shot your son card, but it's that kind of thing. And the neighbour went round to Geoffrey's house, and Geoffrey's 2 dogs attacked, mauled and savaged the neighbour, biting, causing injury round the neck, chest and arms. The neighbour had to have 6 weeks off work. Now, colourful, I think you'll agree. So we decided, well, we'll go up to Coventry and try and attend one of his constituency surgeries.
So we heard a story that you'd actually shot your son with an unlicensed shotgun. That's not true, is it?
What he actually said there, it's not quite clear, but he said, we heard the story that you shot your son in the foot with a shotgun. He goes, oh, that old chestnut. That old chestnut? You just shot your son in the foot. If I shot my son in the foot, I wouldn't be saying, oh, that old chestnut. Come along, Limpy. Come on, wait for me, Dad. It's not an old chestnut. So here's a bit of a colourful character, is there, Geoffrey? So then we started looking at his attendance record in the House of Commons as an MP. And in 2 years in the 80s, Geoffrey didn't speak once. And at the same time, he's on all these companies. Possibly a clue to why he wasn't there.